from. Okay, my name is Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel, and it's my pleasure to be here to host this, and in partnership with my friend and partner, Legend Victor. So we're going to just go straight to what we have today. We're answering one question. How can you, in today's world, raise money for you to run your business or to start a project or to expand your business or to expand your project? How can you do that? That's one question we're answering. And we're very eager to provide the solution, the model that we think you need that can actually help you to attain this. And so we're just going to run through and make sure that you benefit greatly. Now, understand that one thing that's very difficult for us is for many people who want to start a business of their own, or maybe they have a project that is there to them. It could be a not-for-profit project, but they really want the money to ensure that they touch lives, they reach out to people. It could be a profit project where you probably want to expand your business, you want to start a new business and all of that. Then it becomes challenging because you don't have the money that is needed to execute. So it becomes a challenge. So you go to the bank wants for a loan, the bank would ask you to bring all sorts, because that's the way the financial world works, because that's what they need to be sure that they can give you whatever you're asking for. And when you're unable to provide that, then it simply means that they will not be able to help you. So that's that. In some other cases, when you get that done, you would also be required, of course, when you take a loan, you'll have to pay back with interest. When you default, what happens? The loan is going to be restructured, and then you will have to pay interest on top of the interest that you were owing before. So it's like taking a fresh loan to pay a previous one. Because many people are unable to meet up with all of these demands. They're unable to start a business. They're unable to do anything. They're unable to even expand their business. So, coupled with the fact that inflation is hitting us really, really hard. So what you used to buy 10 naira is now like 50 naira. What you used to buy like $1 is probably higher now, like $3. So it's crazy what is really happening in this space. So here, I want to share with you what exactly we can do in order to raise funds, do that project that we're looking forward to doing so that we can touch lives without necessarily going to the bank, and how we can actually go against the tide, or how we can actually surf on top the tide or the waves of inflation. So pay attention. If you're in a noisy place, I'd recommend that you move to a less noisy place. If you have an earpiece, all right, or headphone, make sure you block every form of noise away. And as we go on, we're going to present two parts in this business that you can use, okay? Now I need you, as we go on, to pay attention and be able to sniff out areas that you can use to grow your business or start a new business or start a new project or expand your project. So like I said earlier, for those who are joining in right now, my name is Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel. My background is HR. I've been an HR person for 15 years before I stopped somewhere around 2015 and decided to go into private practice coaching. And here we are. So you're going to learn a lot today, I suppose, and wherever you are, whatever industry you're into, I believe that you're going to get something that will take you into another realm. If you have notes, please get a pen and a notepad and start writing right away. I'm going to share my screen now with a question. Is there an escape way? Please, the administrators, kindly mute everybody that is apart from the presenter so that we do not distract other people. And please admit those people who are coming to the room really fast, all right? So is there a way to escape this
I
quagmire,
get
as it were?
I get meeting, Zoom meeting today.
Can we mute, please? All right. I hope I'm not muted myself. All right. So is there an escape? Yes. We said that you can find the escape in the foreign exchange market gold mine. Now, this is a gold mine that many people overlook, but I'm going to take a few minutes to explain what the foreign exchange space or market is like. But for us, it's a gold mine. But before I do that, understand that everything that we're sharing here with you is purely educational. We are not financial advisors, and it would be wrong for us to claim to be that way. But we believe that the information we're about to share with you has really helped a lot of people and is turning people into multi-millionaires. So it's important you open your mind, okay? We cannot, throughout this session, we're just going to educate you. We cannot spend the whole time trying to convince you. Whatever blockade you have, whatever misgivings you have, whatever concerns you have, you'll have the time to ask questions or make sure that you take advantage of this space right now without wasting any time. All right, now to explaining what the foreign exchange market is. The foreign exchange market is a global market with high liquidity. It runs 24 hours, Monday to Friday, and it has a daily, oh my God. All right, when I get this feedback, like, it's really distracting, okay? Now, here in the foreign exchange space, there's a daily business activity of over $6 trillion. So if you are the type understand, please, whoever is meeting others, don't mute everybody, just select, because when you mute everybody, you mute me too. All right, it's important you note that. So it's a space that has a daily trading volume of about $6 trillion. And whether you go to New York, London, Tokyo, Hong Kong, there are big players like the banks, financial institutions, and brokers that are playing in this space. In fact, in the 1990s, a man named George Soros made over $1 billion from a single trade. I'm trying to get you to see that there is money in this space that you can get and do whatever project that you want to do, whether it is a profit business or it's a not-for-profit business. It is something, there is so much you can make out of this. So pay attention to this. The bad news here is that many people, 99% of the small players, we call them the retail players, the individual players, retail players, 99% of them lose money, and they lose money every day while trying to access the gold mine. The people that win, the 1%, are actually people like the banks, the hedge fund managers, the institutions, like big institutions and the likes. So, and why is that? It's because they have insider secrets that they're not letting out for everybody to see. So that is why they win. So if you are not with them, it becomes very difficult for you to win, and you would more often than not leave with the impression that nobody can win in that space. But here's the good news that we have. The good news that we have is that you can actually plug and play. We've got a system that enables you to plug and play, and you join with these institutional experts and you gain, you profit, you go ahead and you win. So what do you need to do in order to benefit from this? The first things first, you need to purchase a license. In fact, if you ask me, that's the only thing you need to do. Purchase a license, okay? And you do not need any skill or prior knowledge in order to purchase a license. And in this space that I'm sharing with you, you do not need to refer anyone. So some people hate network marketing. Some people don't want to refer anyone. Some people have a deep misgiving when it comes to anything that has to do with referrals. And we get that. So we're saying that you could actually make money in this space without necessarily referring anyone. And everything runs on autopilot. No daily activities needed. All you have to do is focus on what you love to do. Focus on your day's job, focus on your business, and just allow our experts to do the trading for you. But when you buy a license, what do you stand to gain? Your license lasts for 16 months. And within the 16-month period, you make a total of 300% output. Output here means your capital plus your profit. All right. So here we call it output. It means that you put $10,000, you get up to make what? $30,000. You put $100,000, you make $300,000 in 16 months. But this doesn't come at once. By the time you do 8 months, by your 8th month, you must have made 100%. By your 13th month, you would have made 200%. By your 16th month, you would have made 300%. And you can make your withdrawals daily. I'd really advise that you make your withdrawals monthly at the least. And then you can also cancel your license whenever you like. So it's not like it's a chain thing. It's not like you cannot leave. Anytime you want to leave, you can leave. Okay, of course, there are terms and conditions that apply, all right, if you want to cancel your policy prematurely, but you can. The predominant thing here is that you can cancel your policy if anything happens and you say, you know what, I want to get out of this. Now, there are at least 4 scenarios which you can deeply benefit from this, and it can help you to grow your business, to grow to help you to attain or achieve your vision, your goals, and what have you. Now, if you start with withdrawing before the 8th month, that means that every month you say, okay, I want to be taking my money out every month. I cannot wait until the 16th month. That's okay. What that means is that every single month you will be taking out 10%, up to 10%. So if your license would run for 16 months, it means that 10% times 16, that will be 160%. Of course, that means that 100% goes to your capital, 60% to your profit. It means that even if you make 60% profit in 16 months, that's a good deal. Anywhere in the world you go, I think it's a good deal. On a passive basis, that means you do not necessarily have to do anything. You just would have to put your money, buy a license, and forget it. Then the other way is if you decide to withdraw your money after the 8th month. That means you go 8 months, and you make 100%, and you want to take the first 100%. And then the next thing you want to do is another 8 months, that's to make it 16 months, you take another 100%. You make 200%. Then if you decide to go 300%, to go all through 16 months, you make a total of 300%. Okay, so that's that. There was a lady I met the other time in Abuja who said she's got $9,000. So she said she's going to put $3,000 ahead because she plans to send her child to the UK to school by November next year as against January 2024. All right. So what she's planning is if she puts $3,000 by November or so, at the time she was talking to me, it means that this $3,000 would have become $9,000. At least that will go a long way in helping her to do the necessary things to at least set the ball rolling for her daughter. And then she's out of work, so she wants to start a business. She said the other $3,000, that was how she planned, she told me. The other $3,000, she's going to put it there. And after the first 8 months, she's going to take 100% so that she can use it to grow her business. And by the 16th month, she's going to take the balance. So, okay, that's fine. And then the third one, because she's a widow, the third one, she wants to put it down there. And every month, she wants to be taking 10%. And that means that she can get $300 to buy the necessary things in the house to take care of her children and all that. That's how she planned. Remember, this is a vehicle. It's not an end. It's just a means. So you know what your challenges are. You know what your goals are. You know what your vision is. You know what strategic objectives you want to achieve. As a business person, you probably are running a business that is based on high turnover. If there is no high turnover, you will not make much profit. So you're looking at somewhere that you could put your money, put some part of your money so that it could cushion the effect. You know that this is running on a passive ground, while here I'm doing my business actively. It could also be that I don't know, it might just be that you're looking forward to paying your rent, and the next 10 months, if you start now, 8 months from now, let's say if your rent is 1.5 million naira, I'm just giving you an example. You put 1.5 million naira or so, it means that this is just an example, or let me use dollars. Let's say your rent is $1,000. All you need to do is put $1,000. By your 8 months, you would have made $1,000, which means you can pay the rent. You still have another 8 months to run to make another $1,000. So that means that you've even made the money for the next year's rent. Of course, you can now plow back that money. All right. Another 8 months again, you double that. So you just keep growing your funds. Of course, this clearly goes in line with the basic philosophy or principle of wealth creation, which states that you need to have a business, and at least you need to be position yourself in that space of business, and also position yourself in that space of investment. So you must have investments and businesses to run. Again, you might just be a regular employee who is looking forward to starting something. Okay, I met somebody who works in an oil firm, who works in an oil firm the other time, and he told me that he'll be retiring soon. So what he wants to do is got a passion in cooking, so he wants to open a fast food restaurant, okay? And then he also wants to maintain his relevance in the space. So he wants to also float an oil servicing support firm. And so he's trying to build something that will enable him to buy the necessary equipment within the remaining years that he has before he retires. So you can just squeeze this into different molds depending on what your need might be. You might be somebody that is comfortable, like guess what? The recycling scenario might just be your thing for you. You have people that are in school, you have children that are in school. What can you do? Let's take a look at the recycling scenario. Now take a look at this. Imagine that if you put $1,000 into buying a license, and you decide to say you want to do the short holding, you want to go with, we have the short holding system and the long holding system. It depends. It's entirely at you use your discretion, entirely at your prerogative to choose what pattern or what strategy you want to use at the end of the day. This is real business. It's not like, okay, one bring two and all of that. It's real business. And I'm just analyzing the solution and showing you ways that you can apply it depending on where you're coming from. Okay, because I know we all are at different economic strata or different economic levels. Okay, so imagine that you put $1,000 here, okay, and in 16 months, you would have made 300%. That is 3,000 naira, $3,000. You can decide to, if you want to do short holding, you can decide to take $1,000 out. Then you know at that point that your risk is zero. Okay, that's what most people think about. And so you put $2,000 here, all right, and then the $2,000 by the end of the second cycle, the $2,000 becomes $6,000. And let's assume you take another $1,000 out. Okay, let it be that you've gotten some profit, and you put the remaining $5,000 here. And at the end of the day, the $5,000 becomes $15,000. You decide to say, I want to end the cycle. I want to end the cycling here. That means that in total, you would have made $17,000 in 3 cycles. Each cycle is 16 months. That would be 4 years. But imagine if you decide to go long holding. Let me take this out. Imagine if you decide to go long holding and you send your child to school. Let's say your child is now in a secondary school, JS1. So your child, you put $1,000 here, you put $1,000. And then in 16 months, you have $3,000. You say this is a fund. Let's say your child's name is Chibike, or maybe Shemilore, or maybe Aisha. And you say, okay, this is Aisha's fund. You put the $3,000 back into a second cycle. And that $3,000, let me clear this, okay? And then you put the $3,000 here into a second cycle, and the $3,000 becomes $9,000. All right, so you put the entire $9,000 back into a third cycle. The $9,000 here becomes $27,000. All right, in total, without touching this, going using the long holding, it becomes $27,000. Aisha would have been in, that is 4 years, Aisha would have been in SS1 at the time. Imagine for a moment that you say, okay, one more year, let's take this out when Aisha gets to SS2 and probably wants to write her WAEC or something. If you do 27 times 3, that would give you $81,000. That means that in a space of 5 years and some months, you've turned $1,000 into $81,000, 100% passive. Just for a moment, imagine if this was $10,000. Let's say you're buoyant enough to do $10,000. $10,000, this would have become $810,000 in a space of 5 years and 4 months. So there are about 5 years, yes, and 4 months. Okay, so that is how big this is, just to let us know, just to give you an application. So you might be someone that is in the business of sponsoring children, sending them to school. You probably run an NGO. You probably run a faith-based organization. You probably do something to benefit humanity. Understand that if you don't have the capacity and the capability, there is just very little you can do. So instead of just getting the seed and sending it out and sharing it, why don't you decide to get the seed, plant it so that it becomes a tree, and the tree will bear fruits, and in every fruit you will find a seed or seeds depending on the type of fruit. So imagine this is a $5,000 scenario. Following the same thing I shared with you, this would have become $135,000 in 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, there is nothing better than this at the moment. Okay, so real quick, all you have to do is pick a license to start with. You can go with $100 to $50,000, depending on how much you can take. Remember, every license you buy comes with a $49 management fee. So who are these institutional experts and why should you trust them? Of course, everybody would ask this question. These people, this company is called Omega Pro. It's actually a group of companies in over 190 plus and 190 countries. Currently, they have over 2.3 million customers, and 99% of their customers are happy in over 190 countries. The key flagship product right now is the Algo Trade Expert. And these people, they've got a team of massively qualified, world-class institutional traders. And how do we know that? The results show that 78% of their trades close profitably. All right. So if you are having this fear, okay, we've heard this before. That's how some people came and then it crashed. I understand all of that. I'm just trying to show you the strength of this company so you understand what is very possible. Okay, it's actually a group of companies. They have physical presence. They have presence in the British Virgin Islands, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Hong Kong, United Kingdom, Singapore. The operational headquarters is in the United Arab Emirates, Dubai to be precise. And this is their roadmap. It started in 2018 privately. In 2019, they opened the doors to help other people to trade in the foreign exchange space. And then in 2020, they became institutional traders and they kept growing. But it's beautiful to understand that by 2023, they will be registered. Plans preparations are already underway to be listed on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. And then there will be continued expansion. So this is the best time to be part of this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to answer those people who might be saying in their minds that, okay, that's what we've heard before. What's the risk? How are we sure this is not going to crash and all of that? We've done our due diligence. You can also do yours. All right. You can also do yours. That testimonies out there showing what these guys are doing. You can also do yours and determine what works for you, what is best for you. Okay. But just to also clarify a few things before I call my friend to come on board right away, is that let me give you a very, very ordinary example. And I say this with all sense of seriousness and respect and humility. You see, everything we enjoy today, some people paid some form of sacrifice. Today, planes can fly from one continent to another. And we're happy we get on a plane. We take photographs, but people invented the plane. People tried to fly the plane. People crashed, died, but never gave up. The train, the speed train today, when it was people invented it and tried it, started increasing the speed and all of that. You see, the need for people to put their money somewhere so that the money can get yields for them is a valid need. No matter how you ignore it, people will always look for where they can put their money, and their money can actually get them something in return. Now, for every businessman, the moment you see that, that's a need, that's a niche. So what you do is that you want to provide solution. Truth be told, in the process of providing that solution, some people would have made some mistakes. Some people would have gotten it wrong. But remember, it's a process. It will never stop. So if one person tries and crashes, another person tries and crashes, another person will try again. But with looking at what did these guys do wrong? What did they do right? What can we take differently? I will keep moving. So blocking your mind completely, I don't think it's a wise approach. I give you this other example. A plane flies from Abuja heading to Port Harcourt, and the plane crashes. And family members of the dead people get on another plane to get to Port Harcourt to identify the bodies of their loved ones. Why not say my loved one just got on the plane and crashed? I'm never going to get on the plane again. That didn't happen. That never happens. Seldom happens. So the fact that there's been a mistake somewhere, some people have been fraudulent, some people have engaged in bad corporate governance, some people have been greedy, made certain mistakes, does not mean that the solution is completely should be thrown off the window. Now, Omega Pro has been there for 3.5 years, over 2.3, 2.4 million customers, not one person. I was talking to somebody the other day and I asked the president, said, okay, I checked it online, blah, blah, blah. They say it's a scam. I said, it's simple. Two things. One, is there anybody that has said, I didn't get my money? Just one person. Show me. None. Number two, type anything that you hold so dear. If you're a Christian, go type Jesus. I say with respect, scam. You will find people that will tell you that it's a scam. That doesn't stop you as a Christian to go on with your worship. So don't let what you see here and there to dissuade you. Take action. But let me tell you something. I've just shared with you that you can make 300% in 16 months. That's you completely doing nothing. But there's a way for you to make more than 300%. Of course, I showed you a part of that if you follow our recycling strategy. But on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, you can make up to $50,000 a week. Now, if you are ready to hear this, how this is possible, can I get in the comment section 50K, 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 50K? Let me know if you're ready. 50K, 50K. Come on. Our time is fast spent. 50K, 50K. Let me know that you're ready to hear that. Okay, Divine Rose is ready to hear with John. Dinat is ready. Oh, the room is pumping really hard. All right, McManuel says it's ready. 50K. Christy, YSP, 50K. All right. King Tatinuke, beautiful. 50K. Let's go. Oh, somebody even said 100K. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to introduce you to my partner and friend. All right, and he's going to, in an electrifying way and in a very smart way, in the next couple of minutes, share with you how possible it is with our system, how you can hit $50,000 in a week. It is not for everybody. So at this point in time, you can as well just log out if you've gotten the information you need. But if you want more, let's give it up for Mr. Victor Legend Etukia.
Thanks so much, boss. Great job. Awesome job. Awesome job. Always an awesome time with you. Please, if you don't mind, can you check it out to get me to be able? Excellent. I think I'm fine. I'm good to go. All right, please, if you got some value from the first section, do you mind hitting the chat room also? Let me have you say value, 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 just to have a way of saying a big thank you to Mr. Stallone for a job, well done. Please, if you got some value, please hit that chat room and just show him that you appreciate what he has done tonight. All right, let me get to meet you there. Value, 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 value. Excellent. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay, so it promises to be a very quick one tonight. And just like Edith mentioned, this particular part are for those that says, hey, I'm willing to go beyond 300%. I want to join the league of people that do extra $50,000 every other Monday of the week. And I'd like to join that league. That is, this part is actually for you. And I tell you what, in case you're still trying to think through, what will $50,000 do for you? $50,000 can do a whole lot. That's just like about 35,000 million naira. It's a lot of money in a local currency. I may not know where you are joining from, but dollar is dollar anywhere. $50,000 in America is a lot of money. That's why we talk about it with so much passion. Now, someone will want to ask, this $50,000, who has actually ever gotten there, who has made us money, $50,000. Some of those gentlemen you find on my screen have done $50,000 and more. For clarity's sake, I'd like to challenge you to go to businessforhome.org and check out these guys you see there. Daniel Onoja through Omega Pro is on $385,000 every other month. And it's been like that way for very many months. Bonaventure is on about almost, he does $50,000 every Monday of the week from one of his accounts. And he has multiple accounts under that one account. Then you have the likes of Paulo. Paulo does $850,000 every month from Omega Pro. Please take the website businessforhome.org. Go check it out for yourself. This is not a joke. This is a serious business opportunity. Personally, I know well over 5-6 persons that are doing, that have earned millions of dollars within the last 3 years from this business. And for some of us that are trying to question the credibility of this business, I'd like to let you know that some of us didn't just decide. We decided when our mentor decided. If you have ever been around this direct selling space, the face on my screen will not be a new one to you. Everybody knows that when it comes to network marketing industry, a man by name Eric Wall is a top one authority, top one mentor, one man that mentors $1 million and above income earner annually. His conference, I was privileged a few weeks back to attend a Zoom section with him where we had about 10,000 people in attendance. That was my first time of hearing him direct. This man is a phenomenal guy you like to meet in person. I'd like to introduce him to you as an Omega Pro official strategic coach. In that meeting, he did say something. He said, for some of you that knows me, I don't just step out for anything. And this is the first time he decided to step out as a brand partner of a company. All right, he said, I want to let you know in advance that this company is still going to be around for very many years to come, and I'm going to be here with them. What does that supposed to mean? This is our future already. Omega Pro is designed to become the next Facebook, the next Google, the next Microsoft, the next, big thing that you can ever think of. And I'm telling you what, given to what Mr. Stallone did mention earlier, that there is a plan on the line by next year for them to be listed in the stock market. Of course, that will make the company to become a game changer when that happens. Now, why is it that why do we ask you to try to step up your games? It's because there is a $50,000 on the table to be made. But what determines how much you can take from that $50,000 every week has to do with the package, the license you are going for. For instance, if you go for a $1,000 license, although there is a $50,000 to be made, you can only go home with $5,000 every week. If you go for a $5,000 license, although there is a $50,000 to be made, it's only $15,000 that can reach you every week. Of course, that's not bad, but the good news is you can start somewhere, but having a mind to upgrade so that you don't lose your money to the company. Now, someone wants to ask, how does this thing really work? I'd like to tell you for real that this is quite true. One of the ways that really drives us in this business is the understanding that there is a room for us to do $50,000 to $100,000 as in a worst case scenario within 6 months or less, partnering this brand. That this money can be made $50,000 within 6 months or less of being part of this vision as a brand ambassador or a brand influencer. And the question I ask next is, does this kind of money make sense to you? And if it does, do you know 2 friends who also would like to earn this kind of money? I tell you what, some guys out there may say, I know 10, I know 20, I know 50. We are saying, do you just know 2? Whom, if they can see the system and get convinced, will say, yes, I'm good to go. After all, what it takes to make this money is nothing close to what some of us do to earn nothing from where we work. We appreciate you for what you do. We appreciate whatever it is you have. But right now, I'm just here to tell you that there is an opportunity to earn more, to do more with your life, because you are going to be empowered through our system. So if you can say yes to these 2 questions, then I will say the $50,000 journey, monthly income, weekly income journey has actually started for you already. Now, how will this thing happen? We have 4 simple steps you need to take in making this become a reality. One step that will determine what happens next is your decision to become a brand partner, a brand influencer of this great, great company. So as a brand influencer, there are multiple ways you can do that. You can come on board as Club 500 member, Club 1,000, Club 5,000. For the sake of proving that our system we use in making that $50,000 weekly happen is simple, doable, and duplicable, I'm going to use $500 as a case study for our own analysis. Then what do you do next? We advise that you stop and study our system. Be sure that you understudy the system. We have some recommended manual you're going to read. We have an academy you're going to go through. We have an onboarding system. We have manuals. We have scripts you're going to go through. Because I'll tell you what, when a newscaster is casting a news on the telly, and you look at the newscaster, to your mind, oh, this person is so intelligent and so smart. But where you fail to know, if you are not understanding what happened behind the scene, is that everything that newscaster is saying is reading from a screen before his face. When a bank customer, you call a bank and the customer person talks to you, what you first to know that some of the questions he or she is answering, they are reading from a script. That explains why sometimes if you call 10 people may give you almost the same answer for a question. So we have scripts on how to go about the business because we understand that with a good system, result can be predictable to a very large extent. Then we go as far as teaching you where to find these people, how to identify the right kind of people for your business. Because in marketing, there is something we call unique selling proposition. It's a critical knowledge you need to have. Every product or every service is not for everybody. So we're going to teach you how to identify the right kind of people to go for your business as a potential client, customer, or a potential brand influencer that you will pick. So in a nutshell, the approach we use to picking our 2 brand partners are the ones that we are even the one choosing. It's not that we are begging them to become part. Because a business that can pay someone up to $50,000 in a week, in a year or 2 from today, is not something you need to beg people to join. Because I can challenge you to one honest truth. When people find a way to make money from business, no matter how close they are, one hard thing I've discovered is that it is not common practice for people to call you and say, hey, come and join me and be making money. This thing is paying. It doesn't work that way. So we take our time to select who we call as partner. And we have a criteria that they have to meet. What you do as a top thing, from the long list you are going to make, we have close to 10 ways of helping you to convert your list to partners or customers. About up to 10 ways. One of the ways we have is through the broadcast concept, WhatsApp broadcast, where we have a well-composed message. We're going to show you how to add the names of potential influencers, potential partners on that list. And then we have a well-composed message. We just need to copy and paste and send to them. And as you get response, we have a follow-up message you send again. As you get response again, you forward their details to a consultant. Everyone joining our team has an assigned consultant that is meant to work with you for the space of 90 days, making phone calls for you, getting across to your partner, closing people on for you on Zoom calls and other things they do. This is a way of helping you get started while you are learning and you are making money already. Because in our system, in our team, the way we work is that by the time you get started, by your second week, you should start making money. As a matter of fact, we have people that start making money on their very first week. And that we say you should achieve it within your second week. Then what do you do next? Enroll into our own mentorship academy. Life is just a function of input. The best guide to develop is not your career. The very best thing to really focus your energy on to develop is not your career. And that's one big mistake some of us make. Each time you want to read a book, you are reading a book that has to do with what you do. Friends, the very base investment you need to make and where you need to make that investment is on yourself. And that's why in our academy, the focus is you. Everything rises and falls on leadership. If you don't have that capacity of managing people, you don't have capacity of amazing strength, no matter what happens, you will not, no matter how much many people join your team, you are going to string that team. And that's why we want to focus on developing you. So we have books we're going to read, we have conferences we're going to attend, we have seminars, a lot of activities that is geared towards developing you. Because I can tell you, the difference between two friends that graduated studying medicine is that one has furthered his course and end up as a consultant, and one still stay practicing general medicine. And in any profession, it is the consultant that makes more money. And that's why we say in this space and in our club, everybody are going to go professionals. And having seen these four things we are going to do, the next question someone may want to ask at this point will be, how does this first step translate into making money? This first step translates into making money because the business will grow if you follow that system. Say in your first month of coming on board, don't rush the process. I have discovered in a mundane setting that even when a bank hired a first-class student, from in banking and finance, that they will still have to set that student on training, basic training. And that is what we do in your first 1 month or 1 week of coming on board. It is on your second week, having undergone that training, you go to academy, the basic learning, and you've mastered the basic skill that we now allow you to start building. And that is when we say, pick your two partners on your second week of your first month. And in your third week of your first month, we say also let your two partners stop and study our system. By the fourth week of your first month, let them also pick your two partners. When you are brought in two and they brought in two, what means is that in your first month, how many people will you have in your team? 6 people. When that system is followed, by your fourth month, about 384 people are going to join your team. As a matter of fact, in that single month, a total of 510 people will have been in your team. But the shocking reality is that only 2 came through you. And these 2, you didn't have to travel distance to go and get them. You didn't have to organize big seminar to get them. You didn't have to stress yourself to get them. Even the system is going to still be part of the process. The system will do close to 95% of what is required to get those 2 to join you. You only supply the name and follow our process. We close them up for you. And that's why I want to say that this is doable for anybody and it's working. Now, I just want to show you what is possible in terms of revenue that can happen to your business should you follow our system. And this calculation is based on everybody coming on board with Club 500 license. And again, take note that the same license you bought that is guaranteeing you 300% in 16 months is the same license that qualifies you to play here. So if you choose not to be here, it's just a choice. It's just because you are not thinking through it. It is the same license. Because why I brought you here is because you are willing to say, hey, I'm not just going to wait for 16% or 300% in 16 months. I'm willing to go beyond 300%. I want to do $50,000 every other week. That is why we are here. But we are showing you the roadmap to $50,000 without stress. Friends, what I noticed here is that if you should follow our system, that by your 8th month, a well over $60 million business volume will have actually been generated in your team. And I noticed something of interest. when I research into retail companies like ShopRite, when I retail into retail companies like NTN, retailing concept of their product, into oil and gas firm, I discovered that if you have a system that guarantees a constant turnover of business and can attract a sizable number, that you can get a shocking volume of business in no time without stress. And someone want to ask me at this point, how does this translate to Naira and Kobo for me? This is the cash projection that this system has in place for you, should you follow it. We were just trying to be very conservative by saying you are going to do how much? You are going to do $50,000 to $100,000 in 6 months. Friends, take a look at what is on the screen. Should you choose to follow this system and not having that is not going to demand so much on you, having you to stop your job or stop your business to focus on it, should you choose to follow this system and follow the simple step-by-step we're going to show you to follow? It's already working for some of us in this meeting. Should you choose to follow this system, I can beat my chest and say that in 8 months' time, well over $600,000 will hit your account. Some of us have already done month 1 and dusted month 1. Some of us have already dusted month 2. In my own personal case, I discovered that what I was meant to do in my later month, I have already dusted it in my late few months of being in the business. So it depends on you. But the beauty of it is that we have a system to help you achieve this. In closing, I'd like you to see one thing, which is the reality of life. Conventionally, of course, anything at 10% level is considered a failure. But friends, in school, 10% performance failure, at work failure, anything at 10% is a failure mark. But friends, take a look at what is possible should you only achieve 10% result in this business. Your 10% can still leave you with about $60,000. That is about 41 million Naira in 8 months. Far more than what some branch manager of bank earns annually. Far more than what some of your friends earn from oil companies. Stresslessly. Even when you say call it a side hustle. If you should just do just 5% of this condition being made, about 21 million Naira can still hit your account. Should even 2.5 of this condition being made, 2.5 of this condition, if you can just meet 2.5, about 10 million Naira can still hit your account. Now, I'd like to leave you here because what we make here, what I've shown you before, this what I've shown you now is the money you make, but there are some other incentive that comes to you. This incentive has to do with ranking. Do you know what I noticed? Just why you focus following the system. You are focusing following the system and you are making money. You will be at different intervals be hit with different kinds of awards. For instance, we discovered that as you are starting in your first month, you already hit a rank of a silver because the condition for it will have been made. And we're already having about by your third month, you're already hitting the rank of a builder and a silver. What comes to you as a builder and a silver? You qualify for a silver trip. At the rank of by your 4th month, you're already hitting a rank of a gold and a platinum. What do you stand a chance of? The tier rubber MacBook A Plus and iPhone 13 Plus is what you get for hitting the rank by your 4th month. These are already yours. By your 5th month, you are hitting the rank of a diamond where you qualified for a 5 days luxury trip abroad. A friend was in my office today. He said within a space of a few months of doing the business, he has traveled out twice through the company. He traveled out as a silver and traveled out as a diamond. That is the company we are doing business with. By your 6th month, you will hit a 2 powerful rounds that will qualify you for your first car award and a house. And by your 7th month, you are hitting another 2 powerful rounds. But the shocking reality by your 7th month is that the 2nd round that you hit by your 7th month, there is no Nigerian that is yet there. And the 7th round, the round you hit by your 7th month, it took about 2-3 years for 2 Nigerians to get there. Only 2 out of well over 300,000 members of Omega Pro. Only 2 Nigerians have gotten there because they are building the business the manual way. We have decided to leverage on a system and build. And that is why in 7 months, you can get to where it's going to take us, taking other people well over 2 to 3 years to get to in 7 months. And by your 8th month of being in this business, you will have reached the highest rank in Omega Pro. Maybe by then, Omega Pro will start thinking of creating a new rank. Now, just to let you see some of the pictures of I made mention, This is a computer that you stand a chance of. When did I say you qualified? You hit the rank of a goal when? By your 4th month. And next you get this on your 4th month. Your phone also come by your 4th month. Your car come by your 5th month and thereabout. These are some of the incentives that the system has to offer. In closing, I'd like you to take a look again at what we have said so far. We did mention earlier that coming on board qualifies you for 300% output from your trading license in 16 months, should you choose to wait, and that you have a room to cancel this policy for any good reason. And you can get back money, although management fee applies. And then we did also say that you will be getting output of this trading Monday to Friday, and you have the right to withdraw them daily if you choose to. And then is that you don't have anything to do to make this work. But then if you choose to join us as a brand influencer, that you can be making money every Monday, and that there are some people making up to $50,000. From this our system, you can see that what it took them like 3 years to achieve, and with our system, by your 7th month, you're already maxing out your income. And next is that there is an opportunity to assess lifestyle through this business, like phone, lifestyle, computer, houses, trips, and many more things, to mention a very few. This way we're going to stop for today. I will only ask you at this point to unmute yourself and ask questions, because I can tell you this is working. As I'm speaking with you right here, I think very soon when we are talking, we should be able to even go as far as opening up, fronting some of the things we've also got. I would like to be staying close to mine. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's working, it's doable. Don't second guess, get started. Because in case you are not aware, the next few months is going to be quite challenging. The next few months. Yes, you may think we are suffering the impact of inflation, but I can bet you to one reality. The next few months before election is going to be quite challenging. So whether you join or not, my advice will be sure that you are not only depending on your current source of income. Because it is a time when you are going to the market to shop, you should also think of a family you can shop for. It's a time when, as you are going to buy your food stuff, you should also budget to buy maybe a bag or some bags of rice to share to some families in your church or in your community. Because I can tell you, if nothing is done, the rate of crime that will be registered in the next few months before December is going to be alarming because of hunger in the land. And what is their advice? All of us in this meeting can make so much money and set up a foundation where we can start reaching out to people that will have need. And that is why I would say, join us, don't second guess, let's do it together. Please, the room is open. You can unmute yourself and ask your question, as well as also going to...
Hello, Mr. Victor. Yeah, Mr. Victor, we're waiting for people to put up their hands.
Many people know that a lot of money is being made in the global forex space, and they too want to have some of that money, but not knowing how to do so, they stay out. Many believe that they know the forex space very well, but they only make some money.
Stallone, were you talking? So sorry, it seems it's muted. I think it was actually trying to show us an evidence of someone who is doing $50,000 every other week from this business. And interestingly, he's a person that shows us this business. So I think that is what he was trying to say. Mr. Stallone, are you there? All right, while we're waiting for him, please, you can hit the chat room. If you got some value, please hit the chat room and drop your question. If you got some value, just give me vibe. I just want to feel that vibe. If you got some value, give me vibe as a response.
Yes, I could play it now. I'm sorry for that disruption. I could play it now briefly so that people see that what we're saying is for real, that we have people who have actually earned, like you said, $50,000, and they do that every single Monday. Is it okay for me to play this briefly?
All right, but if you don't mind trying to clean your screen, is a bit blown. I don't know whether it's only on my computer. Please, okay, can someone else confirm? Is it blown? Is it clear on your side?
Because, I need to leave here exactly 11 o'clock, otherwise I miss my flight. Yeah? All right, thank you so much. So quickly, I'll just show you this. And then that's till this moment. This is July 26 here. Yeah, so I click on view. Okay, wow. I click on view. So from 2nd July 2022, here you can see how that's this year, 2022, 2nd July. You can see how the 50,000 is. Yeah, up till the last earning was but you can see there was a point of $35,000.
So just to clarify, this was an interview
this
we had with him, just to be sure. And if you take a look at my cursor on this side here, you'll see these are all the dates. Like this is 16th January, this is 23rd, this is 30th, so just week by week. And then if you draw a line this way, you see this is 50,000, this is 50,000 here, is another 50,000, just 50,000, except here that you have 35,000. So this is just to tell you that what we're saying is this is live, his back office. He's trying to show us exactly what happens live. And we were having this conversation on the 25th of July, and he showed us up till the 24th. I think June or July, just watch.
That's the 3rd of April 2022. $35,000, but you can see the last end, that's 24th of July 2022. So you can see it
here, 24th of July 2022. Okay, so that's just to show you that this is real. Our time is fast spent. So it's over to you, Mr. Victor, please.
Thank you so much. I think what happened there was just to let you see that this is real, this is doable. But friends, let's be very realistic here. You don't really need $50,000 weekly to be happy in this current economy. Let's say you start this business and in 3 months' time from now, every other week, $1,000 drop, irrespective of who you are in this meeting. $1,000 can be a very big blessing to you. That is my way of saying join us. It may not mean anything to you, but it can empower you to empower other people. It can be a place, it can pay school fees for one person. Because friends, as school is resuming by next month, very many parents are confused of what's going to happen to them. I'm telling you the reality. And that can help you to support one child in a family. Because friends, it is our responsibility to be our neighbor's keeper. This is where we're going to stop. Please, if you have any question, unmute yourself, ask your question. The honest truth is that you can't afford to keep this information to yourself because it is too much for you to keep to yourself. But if you think this is not for you, one thing you owe us is don't keep it either. Tell to someone that you think deserve to know about this. Why you all just stay and wait for your 300% to happen to you. But if you think this is not for you, please be sure that you don't keep it away from someone that you know will appreciate this information. All right, do we have any question in the chat box? You can unmute yourself. If you want to ask a question, please lift your hand and ask a question. All right, Ms. Emmanuel, your hand is up. David, did you want to ask a question? Your hand is up. Okay, anyone that will have a question for us tonight? All right, I want to say that I feel deeply convinced that we have done justice to tonight's section. I want to believe we did not actually take your time for granted. And what will be my next advice? Please get back to who invited you. Like I said, once you join us, we have sections of trainings for you. I've learned from experience that training can transform, just like that. Training leads to massive transformation. We're not just going to leave you, but it's not like what you went through to have your BSc. This is something you can achieve in less than a week. It's a plug and play thing, and it's an ongoing process. Because it's not like reading some serious book, it's just being taken through a section that we call onboarding section to unveil certain secret to you. This is where we stop for today. God bless you so much for your time. Get back to who invited you. Let them know you are good to go. Get started. Let nothing stop you. Don't spend that money and keep working to make another money. But my advice will be rather choose to invest that money so that you will, in no time, can have the old money you make, earning you new money that you can use to solve more problem. Because take it or leave it, there will always be a need for us to have money and solve problems. There will always be problems, there will always be challenges, there will always be bill to pick. So don't stop there and just keep working and spending. Let the money you work before be put to work to start earning your money that you can use to meet future needs, because there will always be a need. This is where we stop. God bless you, Ray. Good. Thank you for your time. Let's go, because I know you can do it. Trust me, I know you can do it. God bless you, Ray.
We appreciate. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Respect.
done.
Respect. Power couple. Respect. Appreciate you.